I'm giving you guys an update tour on the ranch at Uptown Celina, showing you what the neighborhood currently looks like and where things stand right now. We're going to talk about the curb appeal, the builders here like Toll Brothers and Taylor Morrison, the different lot sizes from the 40s and larger products, and what pricing looks like today, including quick move-in opportunities and what homes are coming soon. I also cover the HOA fees, tax rate estimates here in Celina ISD, what amenities are planned, what's nearby around the Uptown Celina area, and the overall lifestyle you can expect living here.
So that makes sense.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another video today. You join me for a driving tour update on the ranch at Uptown Celina. This is a new construction community with Toll Brother and Taylor Morrison homes building on different size lots. So I think there is something in here for every different type of buyer, as long as you're not looking for townhomes. You're gonna have 40-foot lots, 55, 60-foot lots, and up to 70s. I'll give you guys all the rundown today. Last time I was in this neighborhood, there was the model homes kind of getting built with sheathing and windows. We didn't really have a good look at elevation the last time I was in this neighborhood, but it's been getting built out. They're sitting on some inventory, and it'll give you guys a good feel on what these front elevations look like on these homes for Taylor Morrison and Toll Brothers. This neighborhood is going to be located within Collin County, and if you've been watching Celina grow, like it's in fast forward, this community is one you're going to keep hearing about because it's not a small pocket neighborhood. This is going to be a big planned development with a long runway. The ranch at Uptown Celina is located around FM 455 and County Road 57 in Celina. So if you're familiar with this area, you'll know that it is a solid location. It is set up right next to the downtown Celina area. It's also going to be set up with a trail system to walk around. So there's a bunch of fields right now, but you will start seeing kind of this landscape in this area on the west side of downtown Celina start getting built out more, and they're even updating downtown Celina right now. So this area is going to be really nice to live around, and you are still going to be connected to some of the parks and down to the tollway once it gets built out up towards this way. The developer behind this whole project at Uptown Celina is Rock Hill Capital and Investments. And the way I would explain it is that Uptown Celina is the big umbrella and the ranch is one of the major residential pieces within here. So you have the ranch, you have La Terra at Uptown Celina, you've got North Square at Uptown Celina, and the Heights at Uptown Celina. Those are the four, I believe. I'm getting all those right. And then you also have like Cottages of Celina with Shattuckums and Highland Homes, a small neighborhood that's also pretty close to the downtown Celina area. But there's four neighborhoods in here. I think there's a buyer for each one of them. You've got townhomes, you've got 40-foot lots with different builders. There's even 35-foot lots over at the Heights at Uptown Celina with Normandy Homes. So I really do believe this Uptown Celina project is going to be bringing in a diverse group of buyers at different price points, which is great. And then also it's going to keep it all connected with each other. There's going to be multifamily, mixed use, restaurants, a lot of things expected in this corridor around the downtown Celina. So I really do believe that if you're buying in this downtown Celina area or relatively close to it within 5 to 10 minutes, I think you can't go wrong in the future, and you'll be set up pretty good for just an area that everyone wants to be around. For the community overview, it is going to be a big master plan neighborhood with trails, green space, and what I'd like to call community center vibe. And you guys know the deal already with these neighborhoods. You get a pool area, hangout spaces, and neighborhood amenities designed to make it feel like you're not just living in rows of houses. The big theme in here is trails, green space, and community amenities. The amenities within the neighborhood, you're going to have a pool with cabanas, dog park, playground, pond, open green spaces, hiking and biking trails, and a community center. Now let's talk scale. Public reports are showing that there's going to be a little over 1,000 homes in here. This isn't going to be a small neighborhood with like 100 homes where people know their neighbor's dog's name. This is a full-size community with a ton of people that are going to be put in it. So not just within this one, but like I said, it's going to be connected with other neighborhoods and other trailways. So you might be walking on the trail, connected to downtown Celina, and running into other people that are not within your neighborhood, but maybe the neighborhoods that are close by that are part of this Uptown Celina development. And for the builders in here, there's going to be two builders, like I mentioned earlier. You're going to have Taylor Morrison and Toll Brothers. For the Toll Brother collection, you're going to have 40-foot lots, 55-foot lots, 60-foot lots, and 70-foot lots. And then also for the Taylor Morrison, you're going to have the same size lots in there. So both of these builders are offering the same lot sizes. However, they are at different price points. If you're familiar with these builders, you'll know that Taylor Morrison is more of a standard, basic builder, not going to give you a ton of options, not going to feel very custom within the house, and even their quick move-ins, the inventory homes, they're going to feel very scarce on the inside, and they're going to be a bit lackluster than when you go walk into a Toll Brother home. Toll Brothers, you're going to be paying more of a premium compared to Taylor Morrison, but when you walk into their model homes, when you look at their inventory homes, you are going to feel the difference. So whether or not you see value in that, or maybe you see value in the community and you'd rather buy a Taylor Morrison house, once again, I think there's options for people. So there's probably an option for someone that wants a high-level 40-foot lot, willing to pay an extra little bit of money for nicer appliances, nicer finishes, better feel within the house. And then there's probably some people that are okay with a Taylor Morrison because they're just looking for a single family home within a good neighborhood that's going to have a good growth opportunity. The fees associated with this neighborhood, tax rate in here, it's going to be around 2.8%, and that is because there's going to be an Uptown MUD. So within this neighborhood, it doesn't have a PID, but it does have a MUD. So basically the same thing, just adding on to that tax bill, unfortunately. Within here, the taxing jurisdictions are going to be the City of Celina, Collin County, Celina ISD, and Collin College. HOA dues in here are going to be a little under $1,000 per year, putting it at about $79 per month. The HOA costs in here aren't wild, but they are still going to be part of that payment picture. For amenities outside the neighborhood, you're going to have easy access to downtown Celina for shops, restaurants, and small town square energy. Grocery options, including Berkshire's, are nearby, and having quick access to Preston Road, relatively quick. I mean, you still got to drive about 5 to 10 minutes through downtown Celina, which is a bit annoying to get to Preston Road. But this area is going to be 5-10 minutes away from where the Dallas North Tollway is going to end at this current project on what they have set. Now, in the future, probably going into 2028, 2030, I'm going to guess right now. I'm going to call it. I think by 2031, the tollway will be built up through the rest of Celina into Gunter, because right now they are in the planning stages of getting this built out. And I do believe it's going to move quicker than I think, but sometimes these things are slow. I was expecting, honestly, the tollway to be built out a little bit more than it is right now, but due to COVID, everything got pushed back and is a little bit later. Now they're moving great on it right now, and I think by end of 2026, beginning of 2027, you'll see the tollway built out pretty good through Celina, but the rest of it, where it's going to affect this neighborhood and connecting out to things, probably going to be more towards 2030. For price breakdowns, give you some examples here. For Toll Brothers, their Villa Collection 40-foot lots, you can build from 1,500 square feet to 3,000 square feet, starting at $387,000. The Elite Collection 55-foot lots, you can build from 2,300 square feet up to 3,400 square feet, starting at $504,000. Then there's the Select Collection. Those are 60-foot lots. You can build from 2,900 square feet up to 4,300 square feet, starting from $638,000. And then the Executive Collection, they're 70-foot lots. You can build from 3,000 square feet up to 5,000 square feet, starting at $729,000. Some of their quick move-in examples, just to give you an idea on actual prices, because once you build out a Toll Brother home, it might start at $380,000, but you're going to be upwards of $500K probably when it's all said and done. Some examples on here, they've got a 40-foot lot quick move-in priced at $499,000. For the 55-foot lot, they've got quick move-ins priced at $599,000 up to $699,000. For the 60-foot lots, for the Select Collection 60-foot lots, they've got quick move-ins from $699,000 up to $799,000. And then for the Executive Collection, they have homes in there priced at over $1 million. For Taylor Morrison, on the other hand, 40-foot lot series, you can build 1,400 square feet up to 2,600 square feet, starting at $372,000. For their 55-foot lots, you can build from 2,000 square feet up to 3,600 square feet, starting at $430,000. For their 60-foot lots, you can build from 2,400 square feet to 4,100 square feet, starting at $550,000. And for their 70-foot lots, you can build from 3,000 square feet up to 4,500 square feet, starting at the mid $600,000. So you can see right there, there is going to be a little bit of a price difference between Taylor Morrison and Toll Brothers. You can probably be expecting to pay another $100K or $50K more for a Toll Brother house. But for the inventory they're sitting on, Toll Brothers might work a deal that might be pretty competitive actually with Taylor Morrison. The great thing about this neighborhood is you've at least got two builders within here that are going to be competing with each other. So there should be a little bit better deals and discounts just because each builder is going to want to go against each other to get their product sold over the other. For a monthly payment in here, example, 20% down on a 30-year mortgage that has a 6.09% interest rate, property taxes at 2.8%, HOA at $950 per year. If you're buying a house at the entry level, let's just say you get one at $372,000. it's going to be about $2,769 per month. And then in the mid-range, for a house that's $574,000 in here, you're going to be looking at about a monthly payment of $4,236 per month. For at the upper level of like $750,000, you could be looking at a monthly payment of $5,502 per month. And then for $900,000 and above, you could be looking at a monthly payment of $6,500 or more. Now, that payment might go down because you have a homestead exemption. It also might go a little bit up around that area depending on what interest rate you're at as well. And I'm also not taking into account homeowners insurance as well on top of that monthly payment. But that kind of gives you an idea on if your HOA, property tax, interest rate, doing 20% down on a purchase price with those examples. Commute times out of here, downtown Dallas, going to be 48 minutes, DFW Airport, 45 minutes. Frisco is about 20 minutes away. Nearest hospital is going to be the Methodist Celina, which is very close to this neighborhood, less than 5 minutes. And then you're gonna have the nearest grocery store, which is the Brookshires on the other side of Preston Road, still relatively close. For school zoning in here, this neighborhood is gonna be zoned for Martin or Likens Elementary School. This could change in the future. Right now in Uptown Celina, they've got multiple elementary schools zoned for this development. I also think that's gonna change in the future. Keep a heads up on the future development plans. They're gonna be bringing more schools over to this area. That's the one thing that's kind of lacking over in this spot, but there's gonna be more schools coming to the Legacy Hills development as well. You're buying in an area that's going to go through a lot of growth, but for the elementary schools, zone for Likens Elementary, Martin Elementary, Moore Middle School, and Celina High School. The pros of living in the ranch at Uptown Celina are going to include large-scale master plan with over 1,000 home sites, pool and cabana lifestyle, trails and green space built into the plan, dog parks, playgrounds for families, pond features, and not just like a simple pond feature. I mean, they actually put out like a dock there and made it something you can actually like walk around. Sometimes I go into these neighborhoods and their ponds are just, you can't even walk around the pond. It's just kind of like a nice little centerpiece, but there's nothing else to it. This one's kind of cool, has like a little bit of a dock, something that you can actually enjoy out on a nice summer day in Texas, as long as it's not too hot, right? Because you might want to be jumping into the pond with this Texas heat. You got multiple lot widths, 40 to 70 foot lots. You got two major builders in here. These aren't just random builders. You got Toll Brothers and Taylor Morrison. Now, if you had to ask me which one would I take or which one do I like, I tend to like Toll Brothers a little bit more on design, but if I'm trying to stay more on a budget, I think I'd end up buying a Taylor Morrison in here. It really just depends on where the deal is at for a Toll Brother house. I run into situations with Toll Brothers where I feel like they're a little bit priced at a premium just because they are the Toll Brother name. You also have entry-level pricing in here starting below $400K, which I think that's great for buyers. Unless you're gonna go look at a Toll Brother house, I would say you really need a budget of $500K, around that range. If you're looking for a Taylor Morrison, I think you can be around where the base prices are starting at for their houses. So I think there's gonna be a pretty good difference. It's not gonna be a huge difference in the world between pricing on Toll Brothers and Taylor Morrison, but I think if you're trying to be more budget friendly, Taylor Morrison is gonna be the better option. Just know that within the house, it's not gonna feel as great as the Toll Brother home. Also from this area in the future, the commute's only gonna get faster over time. You got strong resale value for this master plan community as it develops over time. I think this is gonna be a great area that a lot of people are gonna wanna be around when it comes to Celina. And for the cons in here, you've got a multiple phase build out, which means years of construction. So not just construction within the neighborhood, but the roads leading into this neighborhood. The county roads around here are not that great. And luckily you don't have to drive on them for too long to actually get to a road with some curbs and some infrastructure, but right outside the neighborhood, not gonna have a bunch of that. They are finishing the bridge, or one of the bridges over on the east side of the neighborhood. So the roads are getting a little bit better in areas, but definitely on the outside, you're still dealing with those county roads that aren't that well. The amenities haven't been delivered yet, but they are getting there. So if you're moving to the house right now, you're still not really gonna have amenities. You might have just small benches and parks to be around, but the full amenities that are planned for this neighborhood are still gonna take some time. You also have a mud within this neighborhood. That's probably the biggest downside of this one and where it stops some of my buyers from picking Uptown Celina, just because of how high the mud is within here. But when you're buying in Celina, it's gonna be very difficult to get away from that. The only place I can really find to get away from that has really good value right now, that is close to Celina and zone for Celina ISD, but over in McKinney is gonna be Astor Park with Ashton Woods. I am actually finding some value within those homes, just for the size house you're getting and the price point and where it's located. The commute down to Dallas is not going to be very friendly, so if you're having to commute down to there, I think it's somewhat doable, but probably not doable if you're having to do that every single day, or if you're having to go to the DFW airport every single week. That is going to get very annoying from this commute. This early phase is still going to feel bare. Landscaping still needs time to mature. So just once again, you're buying in a new construction area. This is what's going to come with the territory. And for the Toll Brothers in here, 70-foot lots over $1 million for this neighborhood. I think that is pretty steep. I don't know if I'd be paying over $1 million for a Toll Brother home to be surrounded by other Taylor Morrison houses. Doesn't really make the most sense to me. I think that's where you got to be kind of careful if you are buying a Toll Brother home in here, because what's going to happen is you're going to be having buyers in the future in 10 years from now that are just going to see old houses, and they're not going to really take in, oh, this is a Toll Brother house compared to this Taylor Morrison house. They're just going to look at square footage, and they're going to look at how many beds are within the house and how big the lot is, and that's all they're going to care about. Honestly, what I would do is I would buy a Taylor Morrison house in here, go with like all the basic options, and this is really only for someone that's going to be planning to live in this house for 10 years, is go with the Taylor Morrison house, save a bunch of money, and then over the next 10 years, upgrade parts of the house and make it really feel good and almost better than what you're going to get with building out a Toll Brother house right now at a premium. And then last thing, since this area is building out with a ton of homes, the roads are going to take a little bit longer. You're going to have more traffic. You're going to be dealing with that. So if anything, it's going to get really bad until it gets really good with the traffic around here in the construction. And that's going to do it for today's video about the ranch at Uptown Celina. So if you guys have any other questions about buying with Taylor Morrison or Toll Brothers, and you are on a home search for new construction right now in this North Texas market, please send me a text or give me a call. I have all my information down below. Would love to work with you and your family on your home search. Other than that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always.
Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that,